You need to work on your spelling.
You notice it? Jesus,
I know it's still a long time, but I just didn't want to say anything.
I just saw the title. I just got the Facebook notification. I'm just giving you crap. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to official episode number 1. And I am going to tell you, we had a blast watching this Tournament of Death.
Oh.
There was never a dull moment. And I mean, but we will get into that. The Tournament of Death we're talking about is Tournament of Death 2018 or Tournament of Death number 17. So, I mean, from top to bottom, there was not for it being 2018, this is after, unlike last podcast we did, we saw Danny Havoc. We saw Scotty Vortex. We saw a lot of the legends in the ultraviolent game, as you guys are now learning by deep diving into CCW Studios. You know, you guys are learning that these guys are legends, that these names are significant. You guys are seeing those names in the older stuff, but in 2018, they aren't there.
No.
So, I mean, it's weird. But there's a different, but it shows you that there are the legends, and then there is the new yard, if you catch what I'm saying.
Yep.
And there's a moment in here that we will talk about, that significantly put over 3 generations of ultraviolent in one match.
Are we talking about Toby Klein?
The Toby Klein match. Everybody know. If you know, you know. But we're going to go ahead and get crack-a-lacking because this is a huge show. It's not very long, but there's a lot of things to talk about with this show for it being, only 2 hours long? No one asked for you, okay? You're just like DJ Hyde. I mean, come on. You're already in the comments. And here comes DJ Hyde. And I mean, seriously, DJ Hyde, speaking to him, he opened the show and welcomed the crowd. And for once, he wasn't booed. He was actually cheered.
Right. I thought he was a fucking heel. When did they change him? Was he turned to a babyface in 2018 or something?
I'll say it. In Tournament of Death, DJ Hyde is a rock star.
Yeah.
Only because he's not playing his character. He's playing the man who throws these rager parties and does not care. That is who he plays. He comes out, and that's all he does. He comes out and he plays this. He just plays the owner of CZ Dub that is a wrestling connoisseur. I can't win with him. I can't. Can't win.
Oh, Cody, I love him sometimes, dude.
I mean, but seriously,
Cody, you're awesome,
DJ
man.
Hyde welcomed an absolutely jam-packed crowd. If you saw from the footage, I mean, you could see it. Whoa, they were in a field. I mean, as far as you could see, it was jam-packed.
Oh yeah, it was. If that COVID was back then, there would have been a lot of COVID cases.
There would have been.
Right now.
I mean, it was tremendous. It was a tremendous amount of people there. And DJ Hyde came out, and he just literally welcomed everybody at a Tournament of Death 17, like per usual. Love you too, brother. But he just welcomed everybody to Tournament of Death 17.
Oh,
was that at DJ's parents' house? Because I wasn't for sure if that was one of the years that they had to film it elsewhere. Because I know, like, one of the opposite years, Matt, they did it somewhere else. While DJ was in charge, but I could be wrong. Oh, okay. Never mind then. Yeah, yep. What Matt said. It was at DJ's parents' house. Like we mentioned last time,
So basically,
his parents live on a farm in New Jersey.
yep.
In the
I'm already hearing it now. Damn it, DJ! Tell people to shut up. We're trying to sleep.
It's in the middle of the day, sadly, but I mean, I'll admit, here's one name I bet you didn't expect to hear in the opening segments, and I bet you missed it. Max Caster.
Yep, I've seen that.
The man that was in the spotlight.
Yep.
In the wrestling world, like 2 weeks ago, was in CZW 3 years ago at Tournament of Death 17. And guess what? DJ Hyde invited him to Tournament of Death to pop his TOD cherry.
Oh, yeah. And that was his words. Or that was the commentator's words.
Word for word, commentator's words. And I'll say it. The commentary team is awesome. I mean, there's there's 2 other people with Max Caster, and they had a stuffed goat with them. Okay, keep that in mind for now. Okay?
I know where this is going, and I laughed my ass off with this part.
Just wait. I got a better reference for this. This will make you laugh even harder. And it looks like Max and them were going to beat down DJ, but guess what? Out comes a guy named Mitch. Mitch saves the day. They leave the stuffed goat in the ring. Mitch pile drives Ric Flair.
He also teabags Ric Flair. Then, if we're going to that route too,
he did. If you get a stuffed goat, people, its name is Ric Flair. Mitch Vallon. And here's what DJ Hyde said. DJ Hyde brought out 2 light tubes. Actually, he got 1.
No, he got 2. I think
he got 2.
Yeah.
I thought it was 1.
Was the one
broken? I think it was one that's broken in half.
Oh, okay, yeah. Caster then broke it over DJ's head. No, or he broke it over Caster's head. Okay, somehow there was a broken light tube in the ring. 2 big halves were right there in the middle. Somewhere in between, a light tube was broken in the opening segment.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I remember because I watched this like right at the day after we did episode 0.
Yes.
So, but all I remember is that Mitch Vallon and DJ Hyde. DJ Hyde hit Mitch Vallon over the head with the light tube. And then DJ Hyde handed him the other part of the broken light tube. And he said, now it's time to pop your TOD cherry. They hit him over the head with the light tube. They're making DJ Hyde bleed. And and Mitch Vallon was initiated into Tournament of Death, really. But it really didn't stop there. After Mitch Vallon went off, there's one man who also came out. One legendary ultraviolet name that leads into the first match of the night. G-Raver.
Yep.
Oh yeah, when I saw that match, I was like, I really like this dude. Same thing with other people on this, like the one with the file cabinet.
Okay.
Slack.
We will get to Slack in a minute. Okay? We will get to that Hulk of a human.
Yes.
Okay? We will get to that. And I will say this right now, anybody who knows this matchup, you will understand the names in this matchup. Matt Applin will probably freak out at the first 4 names that are going to come out of my mouth for this matchup. And anybody who is aware of CZW knows these 4 names, or is any aware of the ultraviolence. It was G-Raver. He was originally slated for the card, by the way, but it was a ploy, and they said they act like G-Raver wasn't on the card. And G-Raver said, "I want in Tournament of Death." DJ Hyde said, "Okay, sure, you're in Tournament of Death, but you're in the first match." So G-Raver drew this following matchup. It was G-Raver, Casanova Valentine, Jimmy Lloyd, Schlack, and Stockade. Or as I like to call Stockade, Fat Thor. I mean, come on. You tell me you can't see it. Imagine that.
You're the original Fat
Tell
Thor.
me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
He's the original Fat Thor.
I didn't think
the man had a hammer.
That though, to be honest, okay.
The man had a toy hammer named Nolmir. I mean, seriously, he's carrying it around, ultraviolet Nolmir, and I'm like, that is seriously Fat Thor. Thor ate way too many Twinkies. He went on that Bastion Booger diet. He ate way too many of them WWF ice cream bars right there, man.
Crazy.
They decided, oh, wait, I'm a Norseman. He went to Home Depot, got one of them toy hammers from the kids section, said, I am Thor! But no lightning came. All that came was a fart. But seriously, though, I mean, this matchup, guys, at first glance, I mean, but just based off of the entrances, what were you thinking whenever you first saw this?
Someone was gonna fucking literally die.
I will say it. I'm gonna say this. Fuck that filing cabinet.
Not just that. No. I'm talking about the.
I don't care. Chat. Comment section. Give me a fuck the filing cabinet for Slack. It was 3 years ago, but this is still relevant to the conversation. If you know, you know.
Yes, the filing cabinet was a bad spot. The only spot that I was thinking of was Casanova Valentine taking the fucking DDT out of a slender or cinder block. Fucking hell, I can't speak. I thought someone's head was. I thought he broke his neck with that damn cinder block.
No, I'm going to give you guys an exact time, the viewers, to go watch and fast forward to. Watch Tournament of Death 2018 and fast forward to 27 minutes. Right then and there, you will watch Stockade die. That is all I will say.
Yeah.
Like, there is no words to describe it. It was an ultraviolet crescendo that was like, boom. Like, you could not even describe it, but it's like, is he dead? Because I'm sure he dead.
Did Texas Steel come out for like 2.5 seconds there, Lane?
A little bit. Thank you, Derek. Thank you. I mean, just, but G-Raver, and I put a little equation down for you guys. G-Raver plus light tubes equals bad news for everybody. See, I'm teaching these guys math.
I still think G-Raver, Schlack, and Jimmy Warner are basically my favorites.
Jimmy Lloyd, you mean?
Jimmy Floyd, my bad.
Lloyd. There you go.
Oh, don't worry. I did the same thing. I for my notes at first, I put Floyd, but every time I had to re-listen to it, I was like, what? And they were like, Lloyd. I was like, okay, I got to fix this before I get further down in my notes.
Jimmy Lloyd, I mean, I'll tell you, he had some balls. I only say that because he hit Schlack over the back with a light tube. He had nothing else in his hands. He just had one light tube. He's like that one kid in school that thinks the one stick will knock the big kid out. He goes whack, and the stick breaks over the kid's back, and the big kid doesn't fall down. Schlack got up and hurt Jimmy Lloyd. I mean, seriously. I mean, what did you expect to happen? You hit big man with a little tiny stick. It go boom. He like, what was that? That's like a mosquito. It felt like a mosquito pricking me. I need to go check it out. Oh yeah, it's a mosquito called Jimmy Lloyd. It's like he's a big Mack truck. Here come the windshield. I mean, seriously. I mean, you look at that. That's what happened. I'm being serious. But somehow, Stockade got eliminated first in a big crescendo of ultraviolet glory. And then...
damn, they did Fat Thor fucking bad there.
No. Then Casanova Valentine. I want to see more of Casanova Valentine's work because he really impressed me for a big man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna buy a drink one quick.
For a big man, he can move.
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw in the pay-per-view, I mean, he could move for his size, and I loved it.
Oh yeah, dude. I would like to see more of him too. I have to agree on that.
I mean, I look forward to seeing where he's working now. And I mean, he was one of the more, as I addressed it, one of the more modern mainstream wrestlers in 2018 for ultraviolet wrestling. So Casanova Valentine amazed me beyond recognition. But then Schlack was eliminated. It took both G-Raver and Jimmy Lloyd to put that man down. I mean, both of them compared to Schlack, I mean, you put them both together, of course they can make up Schlack.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, separate? No. It's like putting two twigs together and saying, okay, you equal a tree. Yeah. Two twigs equal a tree, people. That's what happens. That's what it's like. It's like two twigs, side by side. Two twigs equals tree. Two twigs equal tree. Yeah, that's what it's like. I mean, I'm being serious. Like, Schlack is a mammoth of a human. And he barely has any fat on him at all. And he is a tatted up human. And you see that mohawked mammoth coming at you with a light tube or something, you best be fearing for your life because he's going to make you bleed.
Oh, yeah.
And G-Raver and Jimmy Lloyd thought smart and got him out of there real quick.
Oh, yeah.
They had cinder blocks. They had everything introduced in that. I don't remember the finishing sequence. After Stockade got eliminated, I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the rest of this match. Fat Thor's gone. This is going to be ultraviolet heaven.
It was
like
great.
That was my one thought. Like, I didn't take any notes after Stockade got out of there. I'm like,
I have something. Hold on. I might have something in my notes.
I'm about to say, like, I stopped after Stockade went bye-bye.
No.
You don't?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, then that at least means that. But the winner after eliminating G-Raver was Jimmy Lloyd.
Though that's all I have was that a full door was broke on the head of Jimmy Lloyd.
Oh, I forgot about that. They said it was a board. Okay.
It was either door or board. That's what I have in my notes.
Yes, they said it was a board at first.
But it was a door. I remember the match.
They thought it was the way it was. It didn't look like a door. It looked like a board by the way the camera angle was. And the way they did it, I think G-Raver did it as I want to say a brain buster. He had it settled on the top rope. The door was literally like this. And then the ropes were like this. It was settled right there in the V. And then G-Raver put Jimmy Lloyd through the doors.
Yeah.
Brain busted him through the door, something of that to that effect. And he went through that door and busted it. And you could see that then afterwards, after like the debris flipped and everything onto the mat into the middle of the ring, you could see that it was a door. And you're like, oh, that wasn't a board. That was a door.
Yep.
And there's some sort of finishing sequence to where it was like a all-out war. And Jimmy Lloyd ended up getting the win after eliminating G-Raver. Yep. And this was all these are elimination matches that are multi-man matches, by the way. Just so
all
you guys know.
One.
Yes, all except for one, and we will actually get to that one. So, I'm so sad because I have a very good reference to one of our good friends who ain't gonna be here. I have a really good reference in one of these. I said it in the group video chat earlier this week. We'll get to that one in a minute. But our next match, they didn't waste any time getting to the next match after they cleaned the ring, obviously, because after that match, broken glass was everywhere. Oh, and by the way, did you know G-Raver was a tattoo artist?
Oh, the tattoo spot.
Yes, I forgot about that. I just looked down. I'm just like, I saw G-Raver. Yes, G-Raver is immortal, folks. He is immortal, and he is a tattoo artist on the side during the day. On the side, whenever he is not wrestling.
He brought the tattoo needles.
He had tattoo needles in a bag that he brings with him for every spot. He used those tattoo needles twice in that match. Once, he actually put them into somebody's head, and they were hanging out. Like skewers.
I'll rewatch that.
That actually happened to Zach Monstar. Zach's done that with skewers before.
Yeah, skewers I saw a few times. I saw skewers. I saw those.
Yeah, you could take a big bunch of them and you just boom, boom, place them right in your skull. Yeah, you hammer them in. You actually hit them with force with the bunt end of your hand, and it forces them in there to where it's just barely puncturing into your skin, not hitting any nerves, hopefully, but still making you bleed. But they're hanging in there.
There was some of those pot holders in this match.
This one, but those tattoo needles is what put G-Raver down, though. G-Raver was going to put the tattoo needles into Jimmy Lloyd, but Jimmy Lloyd reversed, grabbed the tattoo needles from G-Raver and stuck them into G-Raver, and I believe he did something. I don't remember what it was.
Because I missed that spot.
That was one of my favorites. It was in the closing sequence of the match. That was one of the longer matches, though. But we're going to go ahead and move on here. This is between two former tag team partners and one crazy Southern Psycho. Our next matchup. You got Josh Crane taking on Dale Patricks, taking on the Southern Psycho himself, Mance Warner. In a four corners of glass panes match. It's insane how many panes of glass it has.
That's 6. I think I remember the commentators saying.
Yeah, they had 3 standing
on the outside.
They had 3 in the corner. They had 3 standing up in the corner. And they had 3 on the outside, but you couldn't see them. by the way they had him laying down. The camera angles they had for these matches were absolutely amazing. I will say they were absolutely amazing. And I will give the referee did not get his dues for the first two matches. He did amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I don't care what anybody says. If you can react on the fly to ultra violence that is being created in the ring, no script being handed to you, and say, okay, react this way, I applaud you. Because that man was having glass flying at him, and he still found a way to jump up, act surprised, and still worry if those guys were still alive or not.
Right?
The match did start out though with Manser's tongue being stapled to the ring rope.
And the ring turnbuckle too.
Well, actually, it was to a turn. I thought it was to a turnbuckle first.
Turnbuckle first, then ring rope.
Yes, turnbuckle first, then ring rope.
I think it was.
They stapled it one more time before it was over with. I think they stapled it to the ring rope again, and then they pulled it off. So rest in peace, Mance Warner's tongue.
He's gonna have a scar on that bitch for sure.
Dude, he has multiple. I mean, if you watch Manser's later stuff and piece in CZ Dub, I mean, he gets crazy. He faced Ricky Shane Page in a cage of death. You've seen what Ricky Shane Page will do in a tournament of death. Wait till you see what he can do in a cage of death.
I haven't seen which one's that one, so I can go watch after when I'm watching now.
2018, because later that year, it was MJF was the world champion at this time. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, he was the world champion and the Wired television champion. So during this time, he had a little bit of like a troubling, like right towards the end of his run with CZ Dub, MJF was stripped of one title. He was stripped of the world championship for not defending it in like 30 days or something. And it was put on the line at Cage of Death. The vacant world championship was between Ricky Shane Page and Mance Warner. Excuse me. But that is for a later podcast that we will talk about. But yeah, a little bit of background story for you guys here. So that is why I'm not mentioning the CZW World Heavyweight Championship during this whole thing. It's not because I don't know who the champion is. I know who the champion is. He's just not on this card. That's a bad thing about 2018. Like, they had an absentee world champion in MJF. He was in an ultra-violent company, but yet he was in, and this was also, I will give him his little bit, this also was during the time of when MLW was starting up. And he was kind of getting his heels in the dirt, making a name for himself in MLW, getting real heat. Well, actually, you know what I mean, wrestling heat. I'm not talking about wrestling fan heat. I'm talking about wrestling connoisseur heat. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he was getting in-ring heat as a heel. And I mean, and that's what was going on. Like, he was doing great work as a heel. In every company he was in, and they wanted him as a world champion, he was made world champion. So great. Yeah. Which is terrific.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll be honest for a minute. I mean, but MJF was just absent from Tournament of Death, which has happened before with world champion being absent. It just didn't feel right, you know? Just not having him in a Tournament of Death, you know, like this important. Like, it's number 17. I mean, obviously it's not number 20 by no means.
No.
I mean, it would have been nice to have him in the world champion in it, you know, though. Like, hey, you have this amazing field of competitors. Why don't you join in and have some fun? You know,
that top death match type.
that's the point, and that was where my one thing was. But this is where you actually see the future world champion people are facing off in these matches. Like, okay, I'll defend the title in whatever match you want me to, whether it be a normal one-on-one match or whether you want me to throw people through glass panes. And that's what Mansoor did. And they even broke out one of my favorite things ever. Tenzons.
Yep.
Little round thing. Round spiky things.
They called it the flower holders.
Yes, they are flower holders you place in the bottom of vases for flower arrangements. You put them in if you want to put if you don't have styrofoam or anything, you use like a water absorbent little foam, like a light airy foam substance that holds water. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You put the tendons in there to hold your flowers in place if they're live flowers. The most expensive florists do, anyways. So that was where that came from, and they decided, oh, we're going to use those as weapons, and and literally, these things are like razor sharp. All you have to do is go boop right into the head, and it's just like bang, bada bing, bada boom. They end your skull. I mean, seriously, that's what happened.
Oh yes. And them guys wrestled with those things in the entire time.
And it wasn't just like a little tiny bleed. I mean, whenever they put them in, they bled.
Oh yeah, that was
Mansoor,
in a fucking death match.
I mean, you could testify to this. Mansoor was bleeding like a stuffed pig by the end of this match.
Crimson Mask, like, for sure.
I mean, they hit him with everything. Yep. From top to bottom that they could. I mean, they put him through a glass pane. They even put him through a chair, I believe. I am not certain. I didn't write down the spots. I just wrote down what was significant to me in this match. I enjoyed the match. I don't want to spoil any spots for you guys. Truthfully, I don't. I mean, it's just they utilized this match to its entirety. For Josh Crane and Dale Patricks to not be known, these two, those very two, are two guys who have grade A, been in every single big name match in CZW history. They have been in a tangled web match. They have been inside a cage of death. They have been inside. Then they have now fought at Tournament of Death at this point. Both of those guys have.
I actually have something on my notes real quick that I thought I should say. Remember when Mance Warner had that table set up on chair, or that glass pane set up on chairs, and he used the referee for the tornado DDT? I liked that part the most. That was my favorite part. That the ending where he used the referee as the
the step stool. Yes. He's like, here, help me a little bit. There's like, he just runs up.
I don't know.
She just imagine when poof, the car went with her.
Because she went to do it. Hold on.
Okay.
Scarface.
Mansoor literally just ran up and grabbed him. Mansoor literally just ran up on the referee, stepped up one on his back, and literally just grabbed the referee and just turned him. And I think it was Josh Crane, if I am not mistaken. I could be wrong here.
I'm sorry, for what now?
Was it Josh Crane that he put through?
Yes. Yes, it was. It was Josh Crane because
Josh was a big guy.
Yes, Josh was a big guy, and there was another dude. I forgot his name.
Dale Patricks was the other one.
Dale Patricks was the first one that was eliminated, and then it was between
Dale. They bloodied Dale up though.
Josh.
Yes, and Josh pinned Dale. which was a good, significant little thing they did.
Oh yeah, just it'll be like, yeah, you were my tag partner. Now you're nothing to me. Fuck you.
Yeah, that was significant in that aspect because that was their whole story through this match.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not even kidding. Like they said, screw you guys. Neither one of you is winning, but we're going to give you a story to tell. How about that? You know, I mean, it's like, yeah, you both get eliminated, but hey, you told the story of Tournament of Death that amazed the fans. And I'm like, give me more of these two. I want more Dale Patrick. I want more Josh Crane. I don't care what they look like. Like, they aren't your average looking dudes, but neither is Barrington Hughes. Okay? And he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So, like, after this one, I'm thinking, after this match, I'm like, okay. But they put on an amazing match with Manser. I don't care what anybody says. It was like they're just like the first match, so much broken glass all over that ring. There was even one point in the match to where they had a whole pane of glass covered with broken glass where you could not see it at all. It was a final pane of glass.
Wasn't it?
It was on
Patrick's back that was dragged on the grass in this match.
I want to say it was Patrick's, but I want to say it was all. Yeah, it was Patrick's. It was a smaller guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I think Manser had it done to him too.
Probably.
But I mean, in this matchup, but at one point they broke those panes of glass so badly that no matter what they did, they sentoned each other through it. They put cinder blocks underneath that, and they still didn't go down. I believe there was a DDT onto the cinder block.
That was another spot that I said that too. I thought there was going to be people dead at this fucking show when they did a DDT on a fucking cinder block.
Like, that was their whole revolt. You'll see it as a common theme, guys. They sold that cinder block DDT no matter what you did, no matter how far you got into the pay-per-view. That was great. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. That match, it amazed me, but Manser did walk away with the win, and he is going on to face Jimmy Lloyd in the semifinals. Great match. Amazing to see him walk away. Now, you see Drew Parker taking on Ricky Shane Page.
RSP.
And now I will tell you, and they did say this in commentary, I don't know if you caught it. Ricky Shane Page actually won a Tournament of Death
remember that.
to get a CZW contract.
Yep.
It was either he won to get a contract or he didn't get the contract at all and he walked away from CZW. And guess what? I found out that Justin Parker has a little brother. His name is Drew Parker.
Do you think there's a relation to this?
It's a dude in the match.
Is it really?
Yes, that's his name, Drew Parker, and that's in my notes. I said Drew Parker.
Do you think there is relation, though, to it?
I don't know. He's from Britain. I mean, he had the long hair. He sold me on the fact that, hey, I am related to Justin Parker. All he's missing is, his hair dyed black, and he's all good to go.
Right.
And all he needs to do is be able to play guitar and be a vocalist. And I'm like, I'm sold.
Right.
But I mean, Drew Parker came into this match. I'm like, I didn't know who any of these guys were. Normally, I'd be like, okay, let's root for the guy I know. But after watching the match before this, I'm like, I cannot just simply root for Ricky Shane Page, So I'm like, okay, let's just sit back and enjoy this match. Let's not root for anybody yet because we don't know what Drew Parker can do. So I sat back, I watched, and I found out why Ricky Shane Page won a Tournament of Death. He was an innovative, lovable asshole.
Yeah. No.
I mean, he was like, he innovated anything you would not think of to do with the certain type of weapon that they had out there. He would use that weapon for. And Drew Parker did the same thing.
Now, Shane Page had a theme that I want to talk about. That choke buster onto a light tube.
That choke buster. That was actually that choke breaker actually.
Breaker.
I believe, if I'm not wrong, if Matt, if you're still in the comments, if you're still watching, comment this. If I'm not mistaken, was that a move of Danny Havoc or Nick Gage? I want to say it was one of them. Because I remember watching old CZW and they brought up the choke breaker. And now Ricky Shane Page uses it as an homage to them.
I think it was Danny Havoc.
I don't remember which one, though. That's my problem. I don't remember which one.
I think I remember seeing Danny Havoc a couple times using it.
I just don't remember which one. That's my problem. I don't remember.
Neither can I. I'll have to rewatch some Danny Havoc stuff.
Like, that's my one problem. I don't remember which one it is, and I want to so badly. But but Ricky Shane Page is, I will not even lie. Normally I would like disregard a choke breaker as a finisher. You know, be like, oh yeah, that's too weak. You can't use that as a finisher. Yeah, right. Ricky Shane Page breaks out with a light tube. Yeah, you going out. Like, choke slam, nope, backbreaker time, baby. Boom. Baron Corbin uses it? Nope. Anybody else uses it? Nope.
Mm-mm.
Like, Ricky Shane Page uses it? God.
Show my door, please, Destiny.
That's how I think of it. And that, I mean, I will say this, though.
No, you didn't. Not all the way. Goodbye.
I will say this, though. With Drew Parker, he did something I never thought I would actually see out of anybody in an ultra-violent ring.
Oh, I know what I've seen. A crazy Brit.
Yes. I'm like, I saw this match go on. I'm like, what more can these two throw at each other? They didn't throw. He made Ricky Shane Page eat a light tube. You remember that spot, don't you? He had Ricky right up against he had RSP right up against the ropes. And Drew did this beautifully. I mean, absolutely beautifully. Light tube in each hand. Bit down. It was the ultra-violent curb stomp that everybody wanted to see. And I'm not talking about that Seth Rollins bull. I'm talking about, like, if you know what a curb stomp is, I'm talking about a hood, a street curb stomp. You know, teeth on curb, teeth broken.
Mm-hmm.
And after that one, Ricky Shane Page needed a dentist. And after that ultraviolet curb stomp, RSP needed a real ultraviolet dentist to fix his mouth. I mean, seriously. I mean, I just want to say this. Can we just say a quick prayer to all the light tubes that died in this match?
Not just this match. 2014, 2007, 2002. Every single tournament death match that happened there with light tubes are all up in heaven somewhere fucking trying to find the kids.
I was about to say, like, it was like an ultraviolet massacre of light tubes. Like, one after the other. It's like, but every one had a single purpose. An innovative purpose at that. I mean, they weren't just like, okay, let's just hit each other back and forth with light tubes, which did happen at one point in time, by the way. But I mean, but they innovated how you use it. I mean, And it came from Ricky Shane Page doing a simple enziguri, holding the light tube up out of from holding it bare hand with his left hand, literally throwing the light tube in his left hand, holding up to Drew Parker's head. This side, right side of his head, light tube here, enziguriing it and shattering that light tube on the right side of his face. I mean, this man I don't care. Like Drew Parker, Josh Crane, Dale Patricks, 3 names I did not know before I watched this pay-per-view. 3 names I will remember. I mean, Tournament of Death is where you make your name and where you get remembered at. You are immortalized after this.
You become a legend even though you haven't beat the fucking thing.
Exactly. And I'm happy about that. It just makes me happy about it, you know? But, I mean, absolutely amazing match. And Drew Parker, great showing, even though Ricky Shane Page got the dub.
And people were saying, too, come back again, or please come back. That's what it was.
Yes, that's what they were saying to all those guys who lost. And they cheer. I mean, this crowd was nothing short of appreciative.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we failed to mention that, but this crowd, they waited. They didn't cut off right after the match, by the way. They actually waited just a little bit longer and waited till the other guy got up, and the winner left the ring and let the loser get up and get the applause.
Yep.
He got the applause they needed because the winner's like, I already won. Like, that's my win enough.
I'm going to get this more later on when I win the tournament. So
I was about to say, like, I know I'm going to get mine when I lose or when I win, so let's go. You know, and it was like, but Drew Parker got his praise that he needed to. And I mean, he got his applause, and they said they wanted these guys to come back. And I was happy about it.
Yeah.
Now, it's time for PSA, people. Any rubber chickens you have in your house, its name shall be changed to Cluck Hogan. Yes. Don't you nod your head no at me, sir. Its new name is Cluck Hogan. Do you get it, brother?
I think.
Because what you gonna do when the Colonel runs wild on you?
Oh, God.
The Colonel, Cluck Hogan, coming soon. I think I just created a weird character for eFeds. If anybody wants to use that, you're more than welcome to. But you have to wear a chicken hat and have 2 rubber chickens on your shoulders at all times. That'd be great, though. I really would like to see that. I'm not going to do it by no means. The Colonel, Cluck Hogan. Can you imagine that?
Someone just eating Kentucky Fried Chicken the whole time. You know, so-and-so, you just irk me in a way. Just keeps eating it all up.
Yes. Yes, Gage. You do need a chicken suit. So you can pull off Cluck Hogan. The Colonel, you need to be Cluck Hogan. Come on.
He has enough fucking damn names as it is.
No. Be Cluck Hogan. Become the Colonel. Become the eternal Colonel. Become the eternal Colonel Cluck Hogan.
Become the Pecker.
Yes. That's his finisher name, the Pecker.
Oh, God. What the hell did I just start with saying that one?
You know what it is? It's a finger poke of doom. Boop.
Oh, God.
I just did something terrible. But oh well, wrestling world, thank you.
Who knows how far this fucking podcast is gonna fucking go?
Yes, Jason bracing it. Look in the comment section. The Colonel Cluck Hogan is gonna live. One way or another.
Fucking maniac. Run. God damn it.
What you gonna do,
What
Cluck?
have you done to Blake Lane? Gage, not Blake. What the fuck am I saying? Dear God.
Did you just compare him to Blake?
Yeah, because they both are bald.
Oh, God.
Later, I know he will.
Yeah, he'll say something in a minute. I don't care. We're moving on. This is one of the more infamous matches from this show, though. Connor Claxton versus Kit Osborne versus Brandon Kirk versus Dan O'Hare. This tournament was supposed to be won by Connor Claxton. But you can probably imagine with my next thing, he said, there's an ultraviolent trampoline spot.
One of my favorite spots. And that was Brooke's favorite spot, she said, too.
The ultraviolet trampoline spot where they replaced the tarp of the trampoline with barbed wire, and they put light tubes in the center of this barbed wire trampoline. It caused Connor to hurt himself on his way down.
Yep, and got rid of fucking Kent Osborne real fast.
Kit Osborne and Connor were both eliminated from this matchup. It was gone, so that was like it was one. They were gone. That was done. Like so, there goes your original winner for Tournament of Death, and they had to scramble last minute to find out who was going to win. And Court, if he was here, he would tell you the exact same story. Two people can't have the same favorite spot. Jesus Christ. Jeez. This comment section is going wild over this trampoline spot, you know.
Right?
When someone gets hurt instantly, favorite spot. Jeez. But I mean, it was just like it was just absolutely the match was good in its own right, but Brandon Kirk originally was highly put up as a favorite to win.
Yeah.
But Connor was slated to win this matchup. And when he was slated to win this match, there really wasn't any difference in what was going to happen. So when that happened, it was like, now looking back, you can see, I can see where Connor got hurt. So that's the risk of doing these kind of matches. But it wasn't just any like, he was on a ladder and he got hurt. No, he fell off a scaffolding.
Yeah, the structure.
It was about. He was about 3 stories, 2 or 3 stories up. I want to say 2 stories up, and he jumped with Kit in his hands. Drive Kit back first onto the barbed wire and light tubes and barbed wire. I should say
power bomb jump type of move. I can't remember what it was that he did.
But somehow he went back first onto this barbed wire, and Connor just sat there and held him down. And I believe they got it recorded a pinfall. They never said because they cut back to the ring where Brandon and Dan O'Hare were fighting. After Connor and Kit were both eliminated, the commentators, they picked up right where they left off, where they were supposed to, which I believe was great commentating on their part. I mean, you have to admit.
Yeah.
But the first opening round match, Brandon Kirk ended up winning and moving on. So this led to our other matches. Here, I am just going to go through because we already said we were going to try to keep it to an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah.
So we're already at 55 minutes, guys. So I hate to speed run through these matches because these matches, top to bottom, absolutely fantastic. From start, just because me and him are going to speed run through these doesn't mean a thing.
No.
Like, and you can even set. I mean, Tyler could probably even tell you, semifinals and finals. These three matches were some of the best matches they put on all night. And this goes for the Matt Tremont and Toby Klein match. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't tell you that, did I? Y'all are going to love that one, too. We're going to speed run through the matches real quick, and then I'm going to go on and tell you. We're going to speed run through the semis real quick, and that gives us enough time to talk about the Toby Klein spot.
Yep.
Because I believe the Toby Klein match needs a little bit more spotlight than what it deserves that.
Even how the ending went with him doing what he did, and we'll talk about that afterwards too.
We will. I mean, basically, there's a razor blade poo-poo platter.
Oh God, yeah.
There was a saw blade paint tray, and yes, I will say it. Lane needs a light tube bat. I want one.
Are you going to use them promos now here, Lane?
No, I just want one. They look freaking cool. But to get the win, Jimmy Lloyd pile drove Manser through a light tube drum. When I say drum, I don't mean like it was in the form of like a drum, like do-do-do-do-do-do-doom. I mean like it was like a big round mess of light tubes.
Yep.
That was the only thing left standing in this matchup. And he just pile drived him through it from the top rope.
Yep, I remember that. That was crazy.
That's how they ended it. But, I mean, it was just like – and this was the spot. This was the spot to where Jimmy Lloyd and Manser both took turns taking DDTs onto that cinder block.
Yep.
Because I wrote down here, R.I.P. Manser's skull.
VIP of this fucking – or the
cinder block was the VIP until it met Manser's skull. Manser actually broke the cinder block with the DDT. He took a DDT from Jimmy Lloyd and it broke finally.
That cinder block was the MVP of this whole show.
It was until that point. But to start the match off, Jimmy Lloyd and Manser drank beer together, and then they took a couple sips of beer, and then good old redneck style, they beat the crap out of each other.
Oh, of course.
Because why not? But Jimmy Lloyd got the dub over Manser. But Manser, I don't care what anybody says, that was a great matchup, top to bottom. RSP versus Brandon Kirk. This was one of my more favorite entrances. You know which one I'm talking about, Tyler?
I think so, yeah.
RSP's entrance?
Yep. I was confused. I was like, wait a minute.
I heard the music. I'm like.
All of a sudden, I see him wearing I love hearts or I love hugs or whatever the fuck that shirt.
It said I'm a hugger.
That's what it was. I'm a hugger.
It was it's Bailey's old shirt.
I laughed at it.
I mean, and it was like they had doors everywhere for this matchup, by the way. But I mean, but Ricky Shane Page is a hugger and is the Bailey of deathmatch wrestling, according to the commentators, anyways.
I never. If we see Bailey in a fucking death match, then I'll debate it. But
He said the Bailey of deathmatch wrestling.
again, like I said, if we see Bailey in a death match, I will start debating. I have not seen Bailey in a death match, so I can't say anything about it.
Okay, understandable. But this matchup was just a gritty one from the start. I mean, they put carpet strips. You know what I mean? It wasn't like carpeting. I mean, they're like carpeting strips.
Oh yeah.
Like the nails or stuff you put underneath carpeting to nail them down. That's what they put on these doors. And I think it was RSP that got put through that.
Yep.
It was not a very good time. It was a good match. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it was not a good time for either one of these gentlemen.
No, not at all.
It was a flat out amazing match, and Ricky Shane Page did pick up the W. But I mean, but this is where both favorites to win this at the point in the semis were put head to head. That's the point that we're at. Ricky Shane Page is a favorite to win, and Brandon Kirk was a favorite to win also. So you're sitting here like,
he was a big favorite. I heard from a lot.
It was like a head to head favorite match. Like you didn't know who was going to win, so like okay, let's shake it up. Let's put both of the favorites against each other, and let's make people guess who's going to win this year. You know, and they put on a great match like always.
Of course.
So now we're going to move on to the co-main event of the evening, which was an absolute banger of a match. I mean, this was probably one of my favorite matches of all time. Matt Tremont versus Toby Klein. Don't
forget Jeff Cannonball was in there too.
Well, I was going to mention him in a minute. This match was originally scheduled to be between those two, but Matt Tremont introduced Cannonball, said he found somebody that Toby had previous troubles with.
Yep.
So he did, and he introduced Cannonball into the match, and Toby had no problem with Jeff being in the match, which was absolutely fine with me.
I loved it.
If you watch this pay-per-view, I promise you will not be disappointed by this matchup. It's worth the wait in watching all these other matches. Because this
before we get into the match, the spot of Mr. Tremont using a mallet on fucking Cannonball's nuts with that fucking damn watermelon. I laughed my ass off at that spot.
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. But Toby Klein is an absolute ultraviolet legend in CZW. And his wife and child was in the audience that night. Just so you guys know. They were in the audience there watching Tournament of Death. Waiting for this matchup. But to start the match off, somebody ended up giving Toby Klein a pizza cutter. And he used it freely to cut open both Cannonball and Tremont multiple times.
Yep.
And Cannonball was screaming, but it was music to my ears. And you want to know something? Did you know pineapples could be thrown weapons?
What?
Pineapples can be thrown objects. They are dangerous projectile weapons.
Oh, probably with the pines on it.
No, yes, it was just a flat-out pineapple, and they just threw it straight into the gut, I believe, of either Tremont or Klein. And then they used it literally as like a bat of sorts to just swing it into the gut of their opponent. Then this is where we get into your favorite part. Goodbye, Jeff Cannonball's cannonballs. Because they did it was an extravaganza of fruit. They were violating fruit.
I remember what the commentators said. They were like, So we're going to a carnival game now. Huh? Or something like that.
They went to the carnival, all right. But Jeff Cannonball's Cannonballs got on a little Ferris wheel ride and never came back. They went on the Mile High Club and never came back down. Snoop Dogg stole them suckers.
Right?
I mean, it was like, okay, people, step right up. Say it, test your strength here. Mr. Tremont, you want to test your strength here? All you got to do is smash this watermelon right here. Now step right up. She said, don't mind if I do. Smash. Get by Jeff Cannonballs.
I laughed at that. That was funny as hell.
But I will give applause to Jeff Cannonball. He did show us that Xbox has more than one use.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm talking about, too.
Yep.
He used an Xbox 360 as a weapon.
Yep.
You think your console's outdated, folks? No, keep it around. It can be used as a weapon. So says Jeff Cannonball.
He basically said fuck you to the Xbox users and said, I'm PlayStation, bitch.
He did. But he also showed how durable Xboxes are, though. I'm like right in the middle. So I'm just like one of those guys, just have fun where you have fun gaming where you have fun at, you know? But I'm just also like, if it's durable, I'll play on it, you know? Oh, I don't. Yes, Gage. I will agree with that. Yeah. I will. Gage, you reading the comment too that Gage put?
Yeah.
I mean, grab an old N64. I mean, yeah, that will definitely kill a man. But I don't think they don't. I'm pretty sure that Jeff Campbell didn't want to go to jail for manslaughter. If this was, I mean, seriously, if this was 1995 and we were in ECW, definitely give New Jack an N64. Tell that crazy sucker to use that, to grab an N64. I mean, you will seriously see what happens.
Oh, did you see this one?
Yes.
Hold on. How the fuck are you still streaming when your laptop is always hooked up to the Wi-Fi? When you're at home now?
It's magic.
Don't question it.
I'm not going to because it could fuck us over at any point in time. I know how my fucking damn questioning happens, and it jinx like a snap of a fucking finger.
Oh, by the way,
yes.
If no one paid attention to the group chat I posted, the bunny is about to open the park again.
I did not do that. Yes, it is dark voodoo magic, Gage. I will freaking agree with that. I mean, seriously, but I will say it. I will give you guys a what-if question. What would happen if instead of a taser in the Grimes incident, what if New Jack had an N64 controller?
Oh,
that would be going somewhere where it doesn't shine.
I mean, he was already had a murderous intent. New Jack grabbed a taser for fun, and he was already coked out of his mind.
I don't want to make fun of the dead, but when he's not.
True.
I don't like making fun of the dead, but here I am. I hang out with you guys too much.
She loves us so much, that's why she does it.
It's just absolute. I mean, I'll be honest. Jeff Cannon, you thought that old 90s game systems are durable, but Xbox is more durable. Jeff Cannonball showed us that in this match. I mean, he said cannonball to the Xbox, and he rang it up the side of the head of Toby Klein and Matt Tremont.
Oh, that Matt Tremont. That boy.
I was about to say, like, that was the first pay-per-view you watching Matt Tremont, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I think I did.
That was like my 5th or 6th one seeing him.
It was I loved it.
Hold on, I think I got a voice clip on my reaction. I think I got it still here. Let me find the reaction.
But I will say it. There was a part near I didn't know which part it was. I just wrote it down. I said, note to self, do not move when Toby Klein is in the ring.
Did we pass? Is this the part where no, there's not the one who dresses as Bailey, is it? No.
We already passed Ricky Shane Page part.
Okay.
Yeah. We're on the one where Toby Klein's last match.
Yes.
Which we'll get to that in a little bit.
We're gonna get to that in just a minute. Tremont ended up winning by pinning Jeff Cannonball, by the way, guys. I only said that because we're going to get to the most important part. I wanted to get to this before we even did anything else for the finals. Toby Klein got the mic after the match, and he thanked Matt Tremont and Jeff Cannonball for being there for his last match. And I say last match as in like his last match in professional wrestling.
So he was fully retired then?
He retired, as far as I know of, from CZW. Because he was going to have time with his family, and he had been going through some personal struggles about 5 years previously.
Mm-hmm. Oh, can I say one thing? I said it in the group chat. His son, I don't know if it's his actual son or stepson at the time, who would bring their own kid into a death match wearing flip-flops?
He was actually not in the he was actually out in the crowd.
But still, I'm putting them in the ring, though.
But still, like I said, though, guys, yes, he was brought into the ring, and the kid was made sure that everything was safe.
But flip-flops, though.
But Toby Klein just said, like, he shared personal stuff with the crowd, and he did say that he was going through some stuff, and he has been clean and sober for 5 years now at that point. Which, I mean, you support, any way you can. You support sobriety any way. If somebody's going through a hard time, you support sobriety no matter what. Yeah, I will always say that. You support them no matter what, and you always will. You always have to.
Thank his fans for supporting him for even with his drug abuse and his freaking drinking problems.
Yes. And he still... And he thanked him for that. And he was the last member of Cult Fiction to actually be in CZW. And he thanked him for that. And after he had put the mic down, DJ had actually announced Matt Tremont as the winner. The usual announcer had already stepped away because DJ wanted to come out. DJ was ready in the wings to actually come out. He was like off screen, but he was in front of the curtain. To come out because he had everything ready. DJ came out and told Toby, he said, thank you for everything you've done for CZW. And right here, right now, I am inducting you into the CZW Hall of Fame. Toby Klein. And Toby, before this, right before Toby dropped the mic, he said, this is my last ever match in CZW. This is the last time you'll ever see me in this ring. Those were his exact words. And I'm happy. And he said, he inducted him into the Hall of Fame right there on the spot. But Matt Tremont was the one who made the announcement. DJ had a mic of his own, but Matt Tremont had the mic that Toby used. And Tremont announced that, hey, brother, we are going to induct you right here, right now. And I speak for all these fans when I say this. Thank you for everything that you've done. And right here, right now, we are going to induct you into the CZW Hall of Fame. And he screamed that, and the crowd went wild.
Berserk, dude.
I wish Court was still here because he would probably explain everything. Had anyone spotted him when we saw it?
I haven't seen him at all.
No, I meant with the entire recording, you have not spotted our favorite clown. The entire time watching the pay-per-view, did you try a chance to try to spot him?
I tried. I saw a couple people that looked like him, but I'm like, that couldn't be the clown.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a very somber part for CZW, but it was a very welcoming part for me. I really did like it.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was a fantastic part to like before the finals even. It's like, okay, guys, here and here's the thing that we never like I never even mentioned. Toby Klein was a part of the original roster for the original Tournament of Death.
Oh yeah, they mentioned that.
They mentioned that he was a part. He is a Tournament of Death. Hit like that. He was a part of the original roster.
Boyle, we'll talk about that later.
He was a part of the original TOD roster, which I mean, I agree. I mean, you do need to rip him a new one, but you know.
Do we want to rip? He wants me to do that to Brooks. Do you want to think I could really do that to good old Brooksy?
Oh no, I want to see the slaughter that happens afterwards. After you try.
You talk a lot.
Derek, you were just now realizing this. Bravo. Bravo. That took you long enough, buddy. I applaud you. I applaud you.
What, DB? You don't lay for almost a year. You should know by now.
But he doesn't put two and two together. Who said I retired? Maybe I just haven't gotten the full story there, Cupcake. Just sit back, catch your little mouthy mouth, and just wait. Because you don't know the full story of what's to come yet. Okay, I will agree. You are a cheap dollar store ripoff.
Jesus.
So if you're tasty cake, you can call me Little Debbie Boo Boo.
Okay, continue on.
But they brought out everything they wanted to for this matchup. I mean, it was like a roulette match. Anything they wanted, they got for it. I don't know. Give me 5 seconds and I'll think of something.
1, 2.
Actually, make it 5 days, and I'll get back to you on that. With a day or two of rain checks.
If your ass doesn't forget what we were talking about in those 5 days.
That's why I said a day or two of rain checks to remember.
I was the one to get me.
Do I need to text you every fucking day?
No.
I know that I'm always up late and Tyler's buzzed for doing their promos in.
But seriously, though, I mean, the match was amazing. One of my personal favorites, only because of the somber note at the end of the match. I loved it. It was absolutely terrific, in my opinion.
Perfect storytelling, perfect way to end Toby Klein's career. by retiring out of CZW and giving him that spot that Drake Younger has, and a few other of those guys that were in CZW in the past.
I agree. I agree completely. Now it's time to move on to the Tournament of Death finals.
Oh, that's oof.
All I had to say was it was an ultra-violent crescendo.
And that was the only which one was the only one involved that go outside the audience, go actually straight to the outside field. What's the last one, right? There's only one spot that was involved outside. It was outside. It was during the trampoline spot, right? Wasn't it? My bad. I missed that one.
That was a Connor Claxton match. So this match was between Ricky Shane Page and Jimmy Lloyd. And I will admit, Ricky Shane Page at this point has impressed me beyond reasonable doubt. So I will label him. So I put in my notes, Ricky Shane Page, RSP is God.
Is that the one who got that thing stuck in his head the entire time in the match? I forgot what it was called.
That was Manser, and that was a Tengan. That was a Tengan.
Like, how did they when I saw that spot, I was like,
You know what it does? They just did one thing. They held it right here. You know what they did? The one thing you wouldn't do to me half the time. They just went boop.
It just stick there, like, geez.
Yeah, it has spikes in it. That's how it's stuck.
I understand that.
You know, little sticks with points on it. You know, little metal sticks with points on it. You know.
Yeah, but I think you don't want to stick
They
that.
stick in things whenever you put them in something.
You know what I mean? I haven't slept well a few days, so go on. Go on.
With which part?
With the rest of the finals.
Okay, good. That was good. You were specific.
Yeah, so I really do want to hit you with a kendo stick sometimes.
But I'm gonna give credit to the ring announcer, though. He was like the ring announcer all night was flat out amazing.
Oh yeah, I agree. Tyler, what do you think about the ring announcer?
He muted himself for a minute.
All right.
He muted himself for a second. He's doing something.
All right.
Yeah, I was just listening to Derek's promo for a few minutes.
All right. Try to figure out what
you're a little bit.
I try to say what you think.
I will say it was a 4-corner. The rows were replaced with barbed wire. 2 sides of it were.
Well, you talk about that, I'll finish it.
Yeah. 2 sides of it were replaced with 2 sides of ropes replaced with barbed wire. I mean, all 4 sides of rope were replaced with barbed wire. 1 side was replaced with just panes of glass. And the other side was nothing but a light tube wall. So on this side here, it's my right, but it's the left side of the camera view. So it'd be this side for you guys, okay? On this side of on this side, you had the panes of glass, okay? And then back here was just the light tube wall. This is where the camera angle was. And you just saw you saw the camera angle from my side of view. So I saw it from this way as the panes of glass. And my way, it's over here, my left.
Mm-hmm.
But on camera angle, it's actually camera left. If you catch what I'm saying. But this match was absolutely incredible. They put Ricky Shane Page went flying back first through that pane of glass. Actually, not one, went through both panes of glass. They had boards though. They were standing right up and down, like that. Just so you guys can get the image in your head. they had boards holding these in place. They had the boards stapled onto the barbed wire, and the barbed wire was the only thing that was holding these boards and these panes of glass together in place.
Mm-hmm.
And they just sent him through the pane of glass. Jimmy Lloyd did. Sent him flying back first. And it looked awesome. It just did not look pretty.
Of course, it's ultraviolet.
Yeah. And speaking of ultraviolet, I'll say it. Jimmy Lloyd is the ultraviolet Energizer Bunny.
It's basically if Onions was it's basically when if Onions was younger.
No.
No.
I'm just gonna say it. It's just, I mean, the match was amazing. It's just a simple, but Jimmy Lloyd was on a roll. And so was Ricky Shane Page. Neither one of these guys wanted to give up, or none of these men wanted to die, and they were literally just calling to the back to get more ultraviolet weapons brought to them.
Oh, the spiderweb one, right? That's where we see
Yes, that's the one that they got out. Yes, that was one of them.
That was sick and twisted. Like
that was the ending. That was the ending part of it. But my favorite part was when Jimmy Lloyd got a weed whacker.
Oh yes, the weed whacker spot. It's like, oh god, no.
The weed whacker, it has some terrible reputations for getting very ultraviolet very quickly, because that is a literal, it's like putting a plasma cutter to your skin, or a bandsaw. It's like putting a bandsaw to your hand and expecting a good outcome.
You know that it won't.
It ain't gonna happen. You're gonna be having hamburger meat on whatever body part you gonna be putting near that weed whacker.
Yep.
So right whenever, it was like a second little tap, but that was enough to where it hurt Ricky Shane Page legit. And then I also found out the reason why they don't go back to Delaware for deathmatch wrestling is because Delaware has too many sanctions on deathmatch wrestling. I bet you guys didn't know that, did you?
What that supposed to mean?
You told me about that.
Delaware has too many sanctions on deathmatch wrestling. There is never, look it up. You will always see there has never, not even UFC will go to Delaware. Because of their way they do combat sports. Because under law, state laws and regulations, they are technically considered a combat sport with the way they rate, even though they're professional wrestling.
Yes.
By law, hardcore wrestling is technically considered an extreme sport because bloodshed is intentional and is encouraged, but it is also a part of the sport. And that is the same thing that goes with mixed martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
So, it may not be correlated, but it's related in some way or form. And they have tons of sanctions, and they do not follow those guidelines at all. Most of these wrestlers show up stoned out of their minds to this tournament. Of
course. What do you expect? You think they have it with that type of stuff?
Oh, I don't care. And I don't remember who went through that light tube wall. I'm not going to spoil that part for you because any part of this match was absolutely epic. It was always one thing after another that led up to the biggest ending that they could possibly give you. Because you sat there, I remember what it was now. It's on the poster.
Yep.
Go to our group, go to the group chat, CZW Research group chat.
Okay.
Go to photos and videos.
Well, give me a minute.
And it is not the poster I created, but it is the poster for Tournament of Death 17. Pull that up.
Give me a minute.
Because it has the finishing spot for this match on it. You think I'm lying? Wait. Do you think Facebook would copyright us if we? And do you think YouTube and Facebook would copyright us if we actually showed the videos of CZW Studios on here?
They haven't stopped me for watching Facebook videos on here, so.
Ooh, really?
What do you expect? What I like to do? So I even did YouTube videos when you do interview with Dirtbag Dan. Latest.
Oh, a lot more is coming into light now, my children.
Oh Jesus! Stop with that. Stop.
Just pull up the picture for me, please.
Just yeah. All right.
I just want to see it because I know I don't know what exactly happened. I know something happened.
Hold on, it's loading. I think this is it. Do screen share. There.
No, next one. Yeah, but that is what we're talking about right there. That glass, that wall light tubes and stuff.
There was actually another one that was up too that they were going through that structure with the scaffold.
That's what I'm talking about. The scaffolding. There's another one. Hey, Brookie.
Yeah.
It's the other one.
This is the only one that's in the group chat.
Is it?
Yeah.
The research group chat. Are you sure I sent another one?
Yeah, I'm checking. Look right there, buddy.
I can look. Hang on, let me finish messaging someone real quick, and I'll look it up on the group on Facebook.
It's right here. See, right there, right here, where you normally see it on the.
Give me 2 seconds. I got this.
Oh, by the way, my friend Shaggy showed me, share me this. By the way, I think it's kind of funny.
Oh wait, yeah, it was. It was the only one I shared. Never mind.
1, 2. Ah, there it is.
Yep, that's the one. That's the one I was thinking of.
That is the exact one. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh well. Hush up, Derek. No one asked you for info. This is what had happened. I think it was a superplex. No, it was a Spanish fly off of this.
Was that Spanish fly? I thought it was I thought he was going for a fisherman suplex.
No, it was like a Spanish fly. No, it may have been a fisherman suplex because Jimmy Lloyd bounced up after this, and he literally just went straight for the pin on Ricky Shane Page because Ricky just went crashing down through that. And next time, guys, we will be writing timestamps down to where we can just fast forward through this. You know, actually show you what we're talking about.
Yeah, put that as a note for next time in the chat.
Yes, because I just thought of this.
I'll type it in. Give me a minute.
No, research chat. Put that in the research chat so we can remember. But I mean, I'll say it. Flat out, the match was just final match. That closing moment, you were on, like, the scaffolding was not used at all until that closing moment. And everybody was like in awe and shock of what was going on. I'm sitting here watching it on my phone as a fan, and I'm like, okay, what are these two morons going to do next to kill each other? And then all of a sudden, ultraviolet crescendo, everything literally implodes on itself. Because as you can see, they literally put everything on there except the kitchen sink.
I'm surprised they didn't bring out the kitchen
Like,
sink.
and I mean, in the tournament of death, like honor of tournament of death, like anything they have left over, they put into that final match. Like that is why Jimmy and them were just signaling and they were bringing stuff out. Nothing that was used in a match was used. So I mean, it was amazing. Like I would like overall, if you guys are looking to get into CZW, this right here, Tournament of Death 17, amazing, absolutely amazing pay-per-view to get into. I mean, and you could literally, hey Brooke, can you pull up czwstudios.com real quick?
Yeah, you're a minute.
I was about to say, don't log in under the account. Just show them what. Just pull up the studio website. Just so they can.
Should be logged in no matter what, and it should.
It looks like I got upside down anyway. So.
Oh, you're on it anyways.
No, I'm signed out. Some of my things signed me out, so we're good.
Oh, good. I was about to say, just screen share it real quick, and I'll show them.
Okay.
And we'll just talk about it real quick before we close up the show.
All right.
Literally, all you have to do is go over here to czwstudios.com. This is what you'll see. If you're on a laptop, you'll just hit that little sign-in button there. You'll type in all your information. Bada bing, bada boom. You'll have all the access to really not only ECW, but you will see other indie promotions being shown on here. I mean, you can go to contributors. You can go over to click on CZW real quick. And by CZW, you can go, like you can show them, you can click best of the best compilations. You can go down, you can hit CZW. You can hit ECW. You can do anything you want to right now. I mean, it's just, you can see everything. EWA, like you can go for anything. There's like one ECW show. There's Full Impact Pro. I mean, there's like a lot of different indie promotions that you can watch. There's shows from and get like it literally just be in shock and awe of. But I mean, there are countless hours of just wrestling on czwstudios.com that anybody can watch, and there is Shine. So hey, if you want to watch that. But yes, El Generico is always the cover man for CZW Studios. But I mean, yes, and next time, guys, we will be showing some markers with some time stamps of our favorite moments from our next adventure and deep dive into CZW. Now, we've done Tournament of Death 2018. We've done 2 Tournament of Deaths in a row. So I say, why don't we do something different?
I got one.
Ooh, what do you got first?
Let's go back. You and I talked about this earlier today in DMs.
Okay.
Cage of Death 2002. Cage of Death 6. With DJ Hyde versus Matt Tremont. In the Cage of Death.
You are insane, sir.
I want to go big or go home.
Okay. We can do that.
I have this stuff in my head already. I don't mind rewatching it over again to take notes because it was so fucking good.
I will say this.
So good.
We will introduce you guys to Cage of Death in
And
the
this is
next
This is
episode.
Zandig days, not fucking DJ Hyde days. This is Zandig
Yes.
days.
Okay. Yes, this is where. So we have done you. We're going to continue our deep dive, guys, into CZW. But with the deep dive, we are also doing a little bit of showing you guys the difference here. DJ Hyde is putting on amazing matches. I don't care what anybody else says. They may have been mad at him for toning down the violence, but Tournament of Death 2018 just showed us that he did not turn it down. He massacred light tubes. The man used a weed whacker to win.
So many.
Like, they used scaffolding. That was never used in Zandig days. I mean, of course, it wasn't considered ultra-violent, but nobody uses scaffolding nowadays, right? Not regular wrestling. So we're doing Cage of Death, guys. So this time, we will be back next week. We will be back with Cage of Death, Zandig years, to introduce you evil, sick, sadistic people to Cage of Death, John Zandig's way. And then we will then I'm going to introduce you guys. I already got episode 4 picked out. Because my man right up here, has already set it up beautifully.
I'm sorry, it was 2004, not 2002. My bad.
Okay, good.
2004. I had to make sure.
2000 Cage of Death 2004. So we're watching Cage of Death 2004, guys. You saw the website, czwstudios.com. Subscribe, only $9.99 a month. I mean, if you guys want to follow along, and put down your markers. Write down a timestamp for us. Like, write down the time and the minute to where we can go back and we can watch it with you, because we'll have our timestamps. So we're going to try something new. Forget the notes. We're going to have a timestamp on our hands. So we're going to have a timestamp bonanza, guys, as we are going to dive into Cage of Death. And we're going to show you John Zandig's way, putting people inside an ultra-violent steel cage. But episode 3 is going to be 2004. Well, in episode number 4, you know what I'm going to do? Well, but actually, episode number 2 is going to be 2004.
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot we're on episode 1.
Yes.
I'm used to, like, I thought this is technically episode 3, but this is episode number 2. But episode number 3 is going to be none other than dealing with Deathmatch Jesus.
Masada?
The nickname is. I love it. I love how Deathmatch Jesus is caught, and you guys instantly know who I'm talking about.
I watched so many fucking Cage of Death, I'm getting it mixed up. Hold on. I keep looking at it every time, and I keep fucking it up.
Give me 2 seconds. I can figure it out in 5 seconds if you want me to.
Please, because I that was a one. I'm thinking that's the one I'm on now, where it's the one with Nick Gage in it for 2004. It's either one of the ones. No, was it 2012? Let me look at 2012.
No, which one are you wanting?
The one where it was DJ Hyde versus Tremont.
So is that what you want? Tremont versus
DJ Hyde in the Cage of Death. I can't remember which one.
You want Hyde versus Tremont.
Yeah, but I can't remember which one it was though.
And that was it. Was that the main event?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember which one it was though. I'm trying to find it.
It wasn't in any of the recent ones.
No, it was Tremont time, or I think it was Zandig time, or almost Zandig time. Was it 2012? Hold on, let me look.
Yeah, 2012.
2012.
Yes.
That was the one I was thinking of then. Yep, 2012. So change it to 2012. My bad.
Yes.
I watched so many of these. I liked them so much, so I needed to make sure which one it was.
I can get behind this though. This looking like a dope card.
Oh, it was good. I'll give you the props. It was fucking good.
Oh, we get to see OI4K.
It's his team blackout, man.
Oh, yes. And my favorite tag team, Blackout. I don't care what anybody says. I love Ruckus.
I told you. I watched this on my own time, dude. Holy shit. I fucking was jaw dropping a couple times during the Cage of Death match, but we'll save that for next week.
And you know what? We're gonna introduce you to Deathmatch Jesus, people. So be prepared to be saved by Deathmatch Jesus. Y'all can see my video, right?
No, you're still frozen. Now you're good.
Okay, good. So be prepared to be saved by Deathmatch Jesus. Because he will bless your soul. He'll bless your mind. He'll bless your heart. His name is Masada. And you'll learn about him next week.
Oh, he's
as we dive in episode number 2 of the CZW Deep Dive into Cage of Death 2012. Into Cage of Death 2012. Yeah, the year the world is supposed to end, right?
Oh God, don't bring that up now.
Yes, because you know why it didn't end? Because Deathmatch Jesus didn't want it to happen. So be the will of Deathmatch Jesus. But guess what, people? You'll learn about Deathmatch Jesus.
Guys, you gotta do that voice the entire time.
I will be doing Deathmatch Jesus voice the whole time.
For the whole match?
Oh, no. Lord, no. I'd get severe cotton mouth from that.
Hey, I could do it for the whole fucking damn stream.
But guys, we thank you guys for watching, and we hope you guys do tune in for Cage of Death 2012, which will be episode number 2, and we will have a definite date marked down for you guys for next week, so you guys can have your calendars marked, can have it scheduled, so that way we don't have this happen again. Right? But we thank you guys for watching. And until next time, I'm Lane. He's Tyler. And, we're missing, and the missing one, you'll never remember her name because we never remember it either. We will see you guys later, and we will see you all in episode number 2. See ya.